What is up, y'all? My name is Bryan, and you're in my world. And really, I just podcast to document my multiple personality disorder. No, for real though, I try my best to have a crazy, wild, interesting life and turn it into a production. Work hard, have fun, go with the flow. Life's about the journey, not the destination. I'm unfiltered, uncensored, unhinged, and keep it outside the box. I've learned from my past mistakes. I'm full of spiritual wisdom, knowledge, and never short of out of pocket comments. Yeah, I don't have internet right now. I've had a pretty interesting career live streaming to not that many people, but nothing short of interesting moments and good times and funny laughs and good performances. So I'm very proud of everything that I've accomplished so far. My life's all fucked up and I don't have internet, so I'm recording these off air. I record a lot of stuff. I try to do it as much as I can to keep myself hot so that I can, when I get internet back, I can be doing stuff every day. I want to get back into sports content too. So just keeping myself hot and in the flow and always getting better, because if I sit on the sidelines, dude, you know what happens? You get worse. And all those streams I've made, some of them I end up just ranting on my own bullshit, what I've been mad about that I can't post. They're reps and talk time. And reps are important. Everything that I bring up about myself is going to tie in to self-help stuff. Don't worry, you guys. I don't just sit here touting about my own life for random reasons or because I'm bored. Okay, there is a point and a vision and a brand here. But no, dude, it's those little things. Your little inches, man. Little reps. Specifically reps. Think of reps. If you play sports, you know what I'm talking about. You get your practice reps. You're a quarterback, you want to get a certain amount of reps with different plays and different throws and how many times you throw the ball in general. Different drills, getting reps at different drills to train you for different situations. I was listening to some Mike Jones before this, dude. I'm piped up, bro. Mike Jones. You can't see him. So just walk away and let him be, dude. To put value on musicians right now, it's a strange platform, music in general. Like, what's high quality, what's low quality. It's the same with podcasts and stuff on the internet and shorts feeds and everything right now. It's incredibly subjective. Like, what is content and what is not content? There's no objective force. You just can't conceptualize it. It's just all over the place. Because at a certain point, anything that garnishes views can be considered a successful style of content. But some of the stuff that garnishes views is a bunch of gooner generation kids hitting buttons on a calculator and trying to grapple for donations. And just like dudes that just got out of prison rapping live on meth and sitting in their car homeless rapping for 8 hours. So because of this random distribution, when you make a live stream that it could get to people, and I've seen a track record, I'll say this again and again, the algorithm favoring things that are more stupid and mundane. Once you get to that certain point, you got your eyes on the prize, but there's going to be a certain time along the way, perhaps you get some success. And some of these things that we dive into in life are risky and kind of depend on things going your way and doing it the right way and performing well. And with performance-based stuff like sales, if you're not improving and trying to improve, you're gonna go backwards. So that's why you see a lot of these rappers, because of the way advertising works. You can get rich off just one song. Doesn't You gotta stay sharp with your shit, whether you're, an engineer or a banker. There's always gonna be new stuff, new ways of doing things. And the only thing constant in life is change. 6G is coming out, bro. They're gonna spiritually project with the frequencies to compel a bunch of bad shit to happen, like they're already doing. But now they can do it more. Dude, 6G. I haven't done any research. I'll definitely do some 6G talk. There's got it, dude. 666 6G. Ah, oh God, it's the final frontier. You thought 5G was bad. The letter of the devil, 666. What if it really was like 666G? Like, you guys, it's not just 6G that we're coming out with. It's 666G. At that point, I'll just be like, dude, you guys. And then, like, everything in the world just gets shitty. like the common experience of the world is shittier. They literally just roll out a military Orwellian state and be like, I didn't necessarily say that was gonna happen, but I said it might. You better watch yourself. Enjoy the king of Babylon life, because it might not be like that in the future. I think, though, there's always going to be pockets. I think the technology might cause a like Fallout type apocalyptic thing where humanity survives through it, but we go back. We go back a little bit. And that could happen before they roll out the brain chip. They could get fucked. But I don't think there'll be a revolution to stop. Because they already would have stopped and put the brakes on this AI shit if they actually cared. Now you can see, like, that this really is the Matrix. What they're trying to do is the Matrix, man. The fact that our government wouldn't put a stop to that, with just on the surface level, just how harmful it is. I don't know, it just takes away. And people spend so much time on the internet, so the fact the internet's supposed to be social media, right? We're supposed to be sharing collective human experiences, not like something that I go on Instagram one time and it's like an AI video of Donald Trump skateboarding at the White House. Oh, the skateboarding rink. And it's kind of funny, but oh man, this is the first thing on here. So I became a Nazi, yeah, bitch, I'm the villain. Nigga, how Hitler? Nigga, how Hitler? They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Nigga, how Hitler? They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. All my niggas Nazis, nigga, how Hitler? I don't know how popular this is because I just don't follow things. Like, I don't go on Twitter. I don't know what the people are saying in the comments. I didn't see how many views this has. From what I know, there are some people that think that this is actually, like, Kanye West did make this and produce this because it just does sound like a beat that he would have. Just really does sound like a Kanye beat. But AI probably definitely made this. That's the whole gist, that this is just an AI video. Obviously, you're not going to have, Hail Hitler in a song by Kanye West. I don't think he would do that. But put it out, make it, give it to some nerds, and say, hey, you better make sure everybody thinks it's just AI. And they'll be like, nah, okay, it's just an AI Kanye video, Okay, 3.8 million views. I think that so what AI would do in this situation, you basically tell it to, hey, make a song called, you type into the AI system that can make music. You tell it, make a song by Kanye West. So it's going to very quickly, instantly, within seconds, get a gist and an idea of what Kanye West sound is. It's going to take his entire discography and aggregate it into one beat, because that's what you're asking it to do. And the beat that it came up with sounds a lot like a Kanye beat. You know why? Because the AI can just through it all, and then the AI can just go learn how to make. The AI is coded knowing how to make music. It has information on like what's popular, how to make beats. It knows, man. It knows whatever you expose to that system, it has that at its resources to use to produce something. Now, this stuff is more complicated than I'm making it sound, but on a simple dum-dum level, yeah, that beat easily could have been made by AI. It doesn't have to be actual. Just because it's really good and sounds like for sure something that you would hear in like a new Kanye song. But the other side of it is like with Kanye's behavior this year, and I don't follow this stuff very closely or hear much, especially right now in the last few months in this year, so I have no clue. But the things that I have heard is him like getting in an all black KKK suit randomly and doing, he went on Alex Jones, whatever was that, last year, 2 years ago, and said, I love Hitler. And like he said all this crazy stuff, man, about Nazis, and he's wearing all this weird shit always. So yeah, dude, it wouldn't be like the most like out of nowhere. Oh, Kanye's having a breakdown again. He made a song called Hail Hitler. No, it's like, okay, he's having a breakdown and now he's really pushing it. It really just like, okay, now he's really pushing it. That's all it would be. But yeah, that's the secret side of it, because AI can produce this. That's fine. You tell it to produce a Kanye sounding beat, and you tell it to be around the ideal of Hail Hitler. This might be like, it knows Kanye. It knows his lyrics. It can make an aggregate and then produce something that matches what information it has in the system. You see that all the time with how AI works. That's what it is. Artificial intelligence. It knows. It knows shit.
Yo, what's good? We're back with another one.
It's showtime.
Manufacturing. That turbine and the biomotor both do the same thing so that an airplane and bacteria can move. If this isn't depicting the same thing, you're gonna have to explain to me where
what?
the design inspiration is to move around. You have 7 years of research. I've never seen anything like this before. This is a motor that cells use to move around. You have trillions of them in you right now. That is the top of a column in a Hindu temple. The level of detail and craftsmanship is one thing, but there's a level of geometric and engineering knowledge.
Okay, he's talking about how in ancient structures you can find traces of modern day technology. They found evidence of like that they had power and shit. There was some shit saying they had cars even. So yeah, there's a bunch of rabbit holes like this. And if you're a truther and you know about Nikola Tesla, you know that free energy exists, but free energy would crash a bunch of companies and cause a bunch of people to lose a bunch of money that already have money. And those are the people that call the shots and kind of control things and lobby for things. So no, they're never going to do that. In fact, they made Nikola Tesla seem crazy, hid the fact that he found free energy, and pretty much made him sick and die.
Knowledge that is closer to what we see in aircraft manufacturing. That turbine and the biomotor both do the same thing so that an airplane and bacteria can move. If this isn't depicting the same thing, you're gonna have to explain to me where the design inspiration came from that coupler and the little stator guy right here. No way they could see these things. These things are complex molecular parts that are assembled and held together by electrons and run on electricity so bacteria can move. This little guy is what gets me though. He's like a little clutch that engages the molecules so it can spin. That's not what that is. Run it back. In the little animation, you know what you see when you look straight up into that motor? You see this thing right here. If you look straight up in one of these temples, guess what you see? There's a pile of coincidences and then there's a pile of explanations, and this pile is getting quite large. Last one, they may look the same, but the biomotor runs on electrical frequency, which I would have labeled with a snake if I was writing a manual for this thing.
We should use AI to analyze the shapes of these structures.
And he's talking about some kind of biomotor. I don't know. We don't have a background on that, but apparently there's some kind of motor that uses cells and bacteria being guided by electrons. It's pretty feasible.
Too busy building Skynet, bro.
Open AI just
Yeah, but so basically the thought process here is we're at an advanced state in terms of technology, and some of the things that we think are newer over the last 50 to 70 years have actually had a presence in ancient civilization. So that kind of opens the door that they might be hiding information. And when people find out these things, there's a lot of examples like what we just saw right there of ancient civilizations having that modern technology type of stuff. So if they're hiding that information and keeping that on lock, and that doesn't really have any kind of place in the history books. In fact, when you're taught history, you're taught of, oh, how far have we come? They would never have anything like this. They would be so shocked and amazed if they had this back then. So if they hide things that way, well, they might be hiding the higher levels of technology that they actually do have. And there's a difference between what's possible and what we know is possible. The unknown unknowns, things that you don't even know they're going on. You don't even know that you don't know. And that's where this kind of stuff opens the door to those types of things. So yeah, when you say things like, oh, they're building Skynet, Skynet kind of already exists, man. With the stuff that has even been made available for the truthers to dig into on the internet, that they just give you a little smell and salt, a little sniffy sniff. It ain't really nothing. You gotta, well, the best place to hide something is in plain sight. You gotta have that kind of stuff so that the people that are naturally going to do the digging and naturally ask questions have something to dig up. And then when they control the stuff that gets dug up, they can control the truth or conspiracy community like they would any other community, like the right wing or the left wing. It's just information warfare and what's getting circulated. Because if something gets circulated on Charlie Kirk, there's a bunch of lower level people that have, maybe only like 50,000 subscribers. But they pick that up and then they talk about that information that was discussed on there. And, you know, we've seen that Project Mockingbird thing where they show all the news channels saying the same exact, like Channel 7 Houston, Channel 5 Cleveland, ABC, they're all saying the same exact thing. So the internet can be like that too, with thought and idea being born and then distributed.
Went full DARPA. They're not building chatbots anymore. No, they're building Skynet right here on American soil. OpenAI just secured a $200 million U.S. defense contract teaming up with Anduril Industries. The same company developed.
And see, I don't like the whole idea of like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, you want to share the information, but it's just like, I already know. They've already been, it's not like, oh, look, they're doing Skynet. Like, they've been building this. And they're putting together the final pieces, you guys. It's being freaked out and scared and like, we must stop the New World Order. It's far too late. And that's not the design of this reality anyways. That greed is going to be a little bit more powerful than the good. And it's always going to win out in the end. So the breakaway civilization where they merge humanity with machine, that's just in the works. It's just been in the works. It's always been that way. Authoritarian ruling classes have existed forever, since what we know about history. And we have some glimpses of freedom in our pocket of time right now. I do think it's a good time to be alive, and one of the best times to be alive over the last 50 to the next 50 years. The last 50 years and the next 50 years. But at a certain point, that merge is coming. It'll probably be the tail end of my lifetime.
Autonomous drones, robotic surveillance towers, and AI-powered battlefield systems. This is real, this is official, and this isn't some sci-fi movie. It's happening now. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, and Palmer Luckey, founder of Anduril and creator of Oculus, are now working.
So yeah, what this is they just kind of drip feed some information for the conspiracy people to pick up. Which is good. I mean, truth or information is good. But I would say you're more productive following yourself and what's around you than following this shit all day. If we want to chit chat about a little bit of it to blow some steam, I guess. But being in that war, that information warfare, is just not healthy. You want to find a way to break free from the information warfare.
Together on military-grade artificial intelligence. AI that doesn't just talk, it thinks, it tracks, and in some cases, it may even pull the trigger. The same company that gave you ChatGPT is now building the brains for war machines. And that...
So see how they're branding like, oh, ChatGPT, and now AI can do this. It's like, no, dude. I explained AI to people in 2014. Like, what he's saying is like, oh, it's coming out now. The AI can think for itself. That's what it is, you idiot. Look at this guy, dude. Look at this. This is some homeless guy making a video. No, but seriously, you guys, it's stupid. Like, he's not, this is nothing new that people didn't know 10, 20 years ago, that what AI was going to be and what it was capable of. Yeah, it's capable of, if you just understand what it actually is. AI isn't a chat bot, you idiots. People think AI is like a chat bot or a thing that makes videos. You don't understand that it's a complicated system that allows a computer program to make its own decision, create things, make an output. It is, any AI is just artificial intelligence. It's a program that has the ability to create output in a more unique way than a traditional program, because it can think for itself and come up with things on its own, and sometimes even adjust its own code to do more.
$200 million contract? It's just the beginning. You think this is about national security?
That discussion. For as long as there is one child in this world that doesn't have enough to eat, to talk about the ethics of how to treat AI is insulting to human dignity. Not to mention that it's incredibly stupid.
Yeah, I've talked about this, like our focus on AI and technology as opposed to humanity issues and issues of human rights and ending human suffrage. The obsession with greed and what's next in the technology, dude, is bad.
Something you can fantasize about as a child, but that's...
They'll like send ads directly to your brain, or they'll like make it so that you want to buy their products or whatnot. But then even worse, obviously, a, you know, foreign ad.
He's talking about the brain chip. That when you have that brain chip, that's basically like a phone interface in your head that you can visualize, that they can just, you know, like anything pops on your phone, spam, calls, notifications, that can pop shit up in your head. And they've already shown that they can send an electronic signal that sends out to everybody. So they could just have one mass consciousness shift. Just everybody just gets reset, like, hold still, new program loading. No, 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 no. Welcome to the new society. Later, soon, you will learn your new function in society, but we are going to be reorganizing the world and the United States for what you know it. Don't worry, this new exciting thing, like they'll force a program to run, they'll force a video to run in your head, dude. Like they could already do with that emergency alert. They could already force, they could do it right now. They could just, oh, your phone ringing, hey, yeah, we're changing the way things are. You know, it's time for the military state, new world order. If you do this, you will be executed. Like, you know, they could do that any moment. Could roll it out. It's probably ready. I don't know if they have enough Agent Smiths or human resources, but then again, you know what they can do with the robots, with robotics. It's not even the intelligence of the robots, it's just a simple robot with a simple task. It doesn't even have to be AI.
Actor, a terrorist, an adversary, a state actor, you know, hacks into your brain and takes your memories, or takes, you know, like manipulates you, or all these things. I mean, that's obviously pretty bad. If you have a direct link into someone's brain, and you have the ability to like read their memories, control their thoughts, read their thoughts, like, you know, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I've talked this a 1,000 times with Neuralink and the brain chip. Let's see what else they got.
But their phones, it's a smartphone, but it has basically nothing on it. But they do it to where if you text certain things, it changes the word. So one of them, I guess a very popular term in South Korea is like brother, but it's like yo dude or like whatever. And when you type in brother on that phone, it autocorrects it to comrade, and then it has like a notification that says you can only use this word when referring to someone in your family. And then if you type...
That's North Korea. That's crazy. They control what you say through text. Imagine that. Dude. They could do it here anytime. Any moment.
Type in South Korea, it switches to puppet state.
You know, it's like controlling speech, like the words you use.
Yeah, but what it also does is every 5 minutes, it takes a screenshot of your phone and stores it in a folder on your phone that you can't look at. Only the authorities can look at it.
Oh, man.
So it showed like this whole folder of screenshots, but it was like blurred out, and then like authorities have access to look at the screenshot.
When something gets texted or sent, they...
Dude, if you send a dick pic in North Korea, you probably get in a lot of trouble. It just it stops you, it like fries your dick off. You try to take a dick pic, it just like shoots a laser out. No, dick pics are not accepted in the state of North Korea. It's not like any of them chinks would have anything to show anyways. Whoa. Whoa. He's back.
get flagged and they can go through it immediately.
Yeah, well, there's just a digital middleman in every conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it. I so believe it.
Yeah, and then later on, they're definitely going to be controlling certain things, like especially when things go awry. Like they'll have to control certain info or ways of speak.
That's insane.
It'll be like that here soon, bro.
I've never heard anyone else ever talk about this. Thunder, low, bass, drum. These are long waves. Long wave sounds travel longer throughout the environment. It dawned on me, oh my God, this may mean that drum circles, indigenous people, pagans, people celebrating a harvest, they're all coming together in community and they're drumming. And as they're drumming, these long wave sound frequencies are literally going into the mycelial networks that are underneath their feet, that are in your immediate surroundings. The mycelium is like strings on a guitar, like strings on a piano or a violin. They are reverberating from the thunderous beating of humans celebrating nature and life is causing the mycelial networks to grow. And as the mycelium is growing, it's giving more nutrients. It's helping all these other life cycles. There's more potential fruits, berries.
So he's just talking about how a simple drum circle can affect what's going on in your body. So if they do a drum circle at some kind of ritual, it creates that pull. Like some shit you'd see in Indiana Jones, like they compel you to be one of the tribe people, like, yes, sacrifice. That shit's real, dog. Where do you think they came up with it for movies?
It's nuts.
And then so we're just talking about drums. This kind of, the frequency warfare is an ancient thing, bro. Through spoken word, you look at someone like Adolf Hitler, just his word and the vibration of his speech was like evil shit, but manipulative shit for his people. And now you look at technology and everything they can do with frequency, and they got harp and all this other stuff. Forget about it. That just opens up a big rabbit hole. But that's interesting just with drums.
So it emanates throughout the ecosystem. And so I realized, oh my gosh, this may be actually a feedback loop. When you're celebrating in community with music, you are actually communicating with the mycelial networks. And every one of those fibers are resonating from the sound waves. And they're responding with their fruitful acknowledgement and being able to provide you with greater sustenance.
Seems like we've got so far from how we're actually meant to be living on this planet.
But yeah, so what he's saying though, so we do always talk about how they use this to attack us, but some of these things can have good practical spiritual powers too, like celebrating a harvest. Not every ritual type thing is necessarily evil and bad. Just depends on your intentions. Everything's intentions. If you're there to celebrate a successful harvest that's going to feed the people and keep the health of the community alive, yeah, using those frequencies, you're feeling good, everybody's happy. It puts that energy back into the ground. It puts your energy feedback back into the ground to make the soil fruitful.
People like Bill Gates, bro.
Under organic certification rules. So while you think you're buying clean, untouched food, you're actually getting produce treated with compounds that
Yeah. So if you didn't know by now, you can't escape the pesticides and that kind of stuff and the chemicals in the food. There's no escape from it. So that one I skip because it's just like, Ew. Insects are the protein of the future. I mean, if it tastes good, fuck it. Roads made of
from
plastic.
waste. So why are the rest of us? We throw out millions of tons of plastic every year. Most of it ends up in landfills, oceans, or burned into the air. Some countries found a smarter way, melting it down and turning it into roads. What India's found after building 30,000 kilometers of plastic roads is that they're stronger, more flexible, and last 2 to 3 times longer than traditional asphalt. And they use about 1 million plastic bags per kilometer. Normal roads crack due to heat and water damage, but plastic roads bend, they don't break. They're resistant to potholes, flooding, and temperature swings from -40 to 80 degrees above. In the Netherlands,
Okay, so the idea here is, oh, we could be having plastic roads and it would be more sustainable and we'd get rid of waste and we'd be recycling all of our plastics and making new, better roads. But is everything he's saying about these plastic roads actually true? That's the thing. Are they actually better?
Engineers took it even.
But people are doing it, and it sounds like there's actual videos of them making roads with plastic, and this is a real example from something that was done in India.
Further than that, building fully modular plastic roads that snap together like Lego. They install 70% faster, they last longer, and even...
Wow, they're actually quicker, so it would, the road work would go by faster? What?
have room inside for drainage and sensors. It's cheap, it's effective, it eats trash, so why isn't it everywhere?
Because it would cost money, not make money. You'd still, yeah. You'd have to pay now extra, super extra, to train all the road crews on how to put in plastic roads. It would just be like the billionaires would have to come together and help. You know what I'm saying? The government would have to spend money on this. And there's probably, you know, road companies that, and road construction companies and the owners and the rich CEOs that are going to freaking line somebody's pockets to make sure we don't have plastic roads. But hypothetically, yeah, Bill Gates can be like, yo, let's make plastic roads. He has enough money to found something like this. He has so much money to do so much more. Dude, they'll write like $1 million check to Ethiopia and think they're gods. Bill Gates can make $1 million in a day if he wants. He can make $1 million in profit if he asks somebody, hey, we need to make a big move. We need extra funds for something. And then he writes that shit off and evades taxes. But yeah, the thing with the plastic roads is, yeah, one, you have to have the logistics for everything. So you have to have probably new trained and new facilities to make. You know, you gotta have factories to make these slats, these plastic slats to fit in as roads. It would be a massive cost. It cost a shit ton of money, which they have and can do, but we just know how these things work, you guys.
Why isn't this everywhere? Although some experts worry about microplastics and chemical leaching.
It's better than it all going in the ocean. Should be doing this everywhere.
Plastic roads ain't part of the New World Order, bro.
These are the genes in the reproductive cells that make sperm and eggs. Essentially a la carte designing of people. Everybody seems to be able to see that's problematic, ethically and otherwise. Yet right under our noses, Big Ag is genetically engineering soil microbes. Why? Is the dirt that's been on this earth for more?
I don't want to talk about designer babies. But yeah, there's a lot of genetic modification going on. They can already do some of this shit, though. They can make designer people, I think. CIA probably does that shit. MK Ultra, yeah, they probably make special babies to grow up and like be George Floyd. It's MK Ultra. We have genetically modified the ultimate bike theft. He can smell a Huffy from 100 miles away. His name is George Fentanyl Floyd. Alright, couple rings today, eh? Let's see what we got here.
Here's another good reason to buy organic.
We've got to start growing our own food.
They're starting to grow humans, bro.
British and American researchers, they've created the first synthetic human embryos.
Yeah, it's a terrifying prospect, and when you read about it, it feels a little bit Black Mirror-ish in a way, in determining things like...
Again, I don't really want to talk about that one. Oof. So what you gotta think about, when they cloned that sheep way back in like the late 90s, that was already, they knew how to do that. It was not the first time. Human animal hybrids, bro. I hope someone out there listens to this and then the next day there's like a Bigfoot. There's like a bear man. A bear man pig shows up. Like, yeah, dude. Call me some crazy conspiracy theorist on the internet. Well, now there's man bear pig running down the streets. Everybody's running in terror from man bear pig. Guess I was right, bitch. Human animal hybrids. Human animal hybrids. They got a fucking Batman who can fuck real good. The deep state is trying to fuck us with Batman.
Are extremely sick and need more time to develop, which is not purpose.
What about a pharmaceutical startup nation? So one of these farmlands get bought up and Pfizer buys it. They decide to start utilizing this extend technology and they finally figure out how to create products.
Yeah, it's the
Call up
Matrix.
the next startup nation over there. It's Starbase or Stargate or Technopolis, Washington, D.C. Hey, do you guys want 10 prodigies? It's only $100,000 a pop. Hey, military, you need a couple of those Jason Bourne? We got them over here. And they're just going to have a factory over at this startup nation for pharmaceutical companies.
I don't think they're going to.
Oompa, loompa, doopity da. They already have all of that stuff. If you are awake and not a sheep, you will find out. Yeah, I don't know. No, but yeah, you'll know, dude. I already knew about this stuff, dude. What are you telling me stuff I already know? For real. That's a big one. The Matrix style shit, dude. And that they can genetically create humans to do certain things. Some Captain America type shit.
Washington, D.C.
Islands.
Yeah, it's a breeding ground.
Yeah, but the Kakamora, basically like a...
Oh, there's man bear pig. Fuck yeah, dude. I told you. It's there's fucking Bigfoot. He's smoking a big blunt. It's the biggest fucking blunt you've seen. He rolled it with his own leaves he found in the woods. He's trying to get some pussy in a fucking 40 ounce. You see Bigfoot at the bar. Yeah, I've been living in these woods for like 100 years. Figured I'd check this place out, dude. Looks pretty fun here. I'll make my own hooch out there, dude. I love me a strong beverage. Fucking Bigfoot is a bro, dude. Bigfoot drove home and got DUI and wasn't even mad. Because he ate the cop. And they're like, "Fuck! We can't arrest Bigfoot. If you don't make Bigfoot mad, he's not gonna hurt nobody. If you try to arrest him, you have to let Bigfoot drink and drive. That's just, you know." My friend told me his uncle got pulled over, and his uncle would, on his way home from work, he would have a car beer. Like he would just drink a beer in the car. It was just one beer on the way home from work, and he told the cop, "Listen, dude." You can sit there every single day. Because he gave him an open container ticket. You're not going to get arrested because you blow under the limit. You don't get a DUI, but open container. And he said, "Listen, sir. You can sit here every single day and write me a ticket and or eventually just take me to jail. Like I'm going to every single day continue to drink this car beer."
4 to 5 foot Bigfoot, and it goes in and kidnaps children and eats them.
That is terrifying. I'm just imagining this like dense little buff 5'4", like we just
like a Tasmanian devil
grabbing kids. That's terrifying, man.
But supposedly they make these they commute their language is like this cackling.
Stop.
And the villagers all around the Solomon Islands talk about how they hear them in the woods at night gather together and they cackle talk and even sing songs in their cackling. But they're pretty unintelligent of what the locals said. That's why they...
The Bigfoot singing like, "I got horse calling."
They come in and steal. They steal food from their fruit trees.
Yeah.
But they don't even know how to make fire. But they're intelligent enough to come in and steal fire from villages.
You said Bigfoot was cold, bro.
Yeah, Edwin ain't snatching kids.
Now, you've heard of sea monsters before. This ocean cryptid is something else. Because it's so elusive, nobody knows what it is for sure, but it's earned the name, the black carp. And over the course of several years, divers, fishermen, biologists, and crewmen on naval ships have reportedly had encounters with this massive entity. Deep-sea divers who witnessed this thing said it looked like ocean floor itself was moving. It's been described as this 1,000-foot wide black mass, kind of in the shape of a Portuguese man-o'-war, but also similar to a gigantic siphonophore, although it's not that exact. And it's said to be covered in thin antennae and has thousands of these retractable tentacles. And according to the stories, this thing...
There's hella shit in the ocean, bro.
Was flying over Antarctica, listening for cosmic particles like a stethoscope. Instead of catching signals falling down from the sky, Anita picked up signals coming up from the Earth. Honestly, it's like the Earth just sent a pulse through 2 miles of ice to say, hey, the gag is this should be impossible. It takes a lot of scientific explanation, but the angle that this signal came from, no life can exist in that particular spot. Again, a lot of scientific shit, but
It's because it's the flat Earth, and the Antarctica is like kind of the edge, and you can't go. Like, if you keep going, you'll go into some spiritual world and get like fried. I don't know, dude. They said that that's the Admiral Byrd, the real Admiral Byrd Testament. They was seeing like dragons and purple fucking aliens and shit. They're seeing all this spiritual stuff. They started tweaking, bro. They had said, we gotta turn back. This ain't the place to be, dog. We out here Alice in Wonderland type shit. So yeah, there's gonna be hella strange radio, unexplained radio frequencies in Antarctica. But yeah, part of Flat Earth is understanding our place as a spiritual realm and not a spinning ball. Or if it is a spinning ball, it's a lot bigger than what we're told, and there's lands beyond. But it seems to be that a certain point of Antarctica, you're just not going to go there. They've had things that say they went over it, but the problem is there's just too many examples of things that they said they did that, you know, that we hear in popular this or that comes out to be something else. It's just one of those common things that happens, you know? So yeah, it's not it's not illogical or crazy to question anything and everything. What you can see and feel with your own eyes and own spiritual antenna is probably the most important. You feel me?
not light, nothing can survive at the angle this signal came from. That we know of, at least. Something's under the ice in Antarctica, y'all. Because Anita was not done picking up signals. She picked up another one in 2014. How are scientists explaining this? Well, they really can't, but there are a few theories. Like maybe it bounced off the ice in just the right way. Or maybe it's some type of new particle that we have yet to discover. Or maybe it's something under the ice that we did not put there. Under Antarctica is one of the Earth's last unexplored frontiers. There's a massive frozen hidden lake that hasn't been touched in 15 million years. We can talk about that some other time. The magnetic anomalies in Antarctica go crazy. So if a radio signal is coming from beneath the ice, from beneath Antarctica, what is it bouncing off of?
It's got to be coming from the surface and just bouncing off the ice.
Nah, bro. There's a pyramid under there.
Hey, we got a bit of weird footage coming.
No, it's from the flat Earth, dude. That was really nothing new or groundbreaking right there. Antarctica having weird shit. That's part of the whole flat Earth argument. And part of the flat Earth evidence is some of the weird stuff that's come out of there.
Out of Roswell, New Mexico, bro, or some strange lights over the desert, shocking onlookers, and this was filmed in the evening. I'm going to zoom in for you in just a second just to see this a little bit closer, and I'll put the actual video at the end so you can listen to their reactions, but look at the state of this object, bruv. This thing looks like it's absolutely on fire. It's like skipping along. And it kind of reminds me of what we saw in China at the beginning of the year. Most notably Beijing and Chongqing. I'll put the videos after this, but look at this thing, mate. It's mad. So this is the one from over Beijing, and this was seen over multiple days that kept reappearing back with no sort of correlation as to what or why this thing was there. Another angle.
Yeah, they're just testing Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam, basically, you guys know what augmented reality is. Pokemon Go was the OG example of augmented reality, where they took your phone and the camera, and through the camera they projected something in reality that you could see on the phone. Now, it wasn't an actual projection of Pikachu, but it looked like that on your phone. That was kind of the original, the beginning of us being exposed to augmented reality. And then the other one you have is the hologram of Michael Jackson. Why they haven't done that again with anyone else, I think they have, but it's not very popular. You would think that would be a popular thing to see, like Elvis Presley, that those shows would be rather common, right? Especially because you don't have to pay. If you're if you own the rights to Michael Jackson's music, whoever owns that, you don't have to pay a performer to put on a big ticket show. I would think that those would get popular a lot, right? Yeah, it'd be very popular, the hologram shows, especially knowing, you know, underground type stuff, what they can really do with holograms and what they can really make them look like in projections. I mean, drones. The movie Spider-Man was a pretty good illustration of what they can do with drones. What was it? The second one, maybe? The newer Spider-Mans with Tom Holland. And how Mysterio used the drones to make augmented reality, to make things look like they were there when they really weren't. So yeah, they can do projections. I don't know if that's what that is. That could be some next level spiritual breaking quantum physics kind of stuff that they're doing in China. Who knows, bro? I'm not going to say this is one thing or the other, but with stuff like that and weird things that you see in the sky, I always think Project Bluebeam. And basically the idea with Project Bluebeam is they're going to have some like Great Awakening type event that projects some kind of Holy Spirit in the sky. So they'll make a projection of some shit in the sky. Or people will be seeing all this angels and stuff, like all sorts of something. And then they'll use that to compel people to follow the instructions for the New World Order and how they want to roll things out. And for those that are a little bit not into truth or stuff, and maybe this is the first time you've heard this, some of the dystopian literature and movies have depictions on what a rollout type thing is, where it's just like, oh, one day everything just changed. Everything was different. We were given instructions through the TV. There was a increased military presence all of a sudden. You know, they could just have robots walking around and shit. So yeah, but the idea that they get they corral the sheep to, be like, okay, whatever this projection is like the religion that's actually real, or this is the real spiritual science, and it's telling us to do this, that we need to change. So yeah, it's basically Project Bluebeam is really, that is like the tip-top level of it is some kind of event that rolls out the New World Order. But at a surface level, basically Project Bluebeam you can think of as just like, hey, the ability to have real looking projections. Drone fireworks shows, drone shows, light shows. Again, the Michael Jackson hologram. They've got it, man. They've got that shit. They could make something like that in the sky, dude.
From this one as well. Actually, no, this was from Chongqing, actually, of the same sort of phenomena. Now, this one was from Portugal, if I can remember correctly, of the same sort of thing. And I'll put the Roswell, New Mexico one here. The New Mexico one looks like it's actually on fire, skipping across. It's a little bit weird, but it still has...
Also, with these videos, some of this stuff that circulates in the conspiracy communities is just bullshit. Like, somebody just made this video and circulated it out knowing that it would get, oh, there's some random guy that's seen this in New Mexico. You just made it on your phone. And then it just depends on, there's a bunch of random stuff like that that gets posted to try to get attention every day, for people to get clicks and comments and such, and likes, followers.
The same sort of behavior pattern as to what we've seen previously.
So this could just be an edited CGI video. Some, you don't have to be that educated to take a picture of like the sun or something and then play with it and make it look like it's blinking in different spots. Not hard stuff.
Looked like it could have been something natural.
What about this one then, bro?
What the hell is this, guys? We've got something really weird that's been captured by NASA Solar Orbiter as well as people on the ground.
Okay, so first things first, anything that comes out of NASA is just art. That needs to be understood.
I mean, seriously, guys, what?
It's fucking art. It's not pictures of our universe. It's artist renderings of what it might, of what we're being told it looks like.
On Earth is...
And there's people who have zoomed in on planets with telescopes, and you see like, it's more like an orb, like a glowing, glimmering orb of energy. It's like not, it doesn't look like something that exists in physical reality. It's next level shit.
It's that. Seriously, this thing flies past the sun. It's a huge spherical object. Seriously, guys. Like, what the heck is it? It is so weird. Look at it there. What is that, guys? Caught by the NASA Solar Orbiter themselves.
It really just looks like an asteroid moving in front of the sun.
What is it? What is that?
And again, this could just be some CGI video.
And this thing has been literally caught by the Solar Orbiter on a few occasions now. NASA has got quite a bit of footage of this huge spherical object passing by us and the sun. What the hell is that? Looks like some kind of alien flicking base, or some kind of possibly mothership. Maybe it's another flicking moon. What is it? Has anyone got any ideas, guys? Because honestly, it is seriously perplexing me. What is this object? Flying by our sun. It's really weird.
Explain that one, bro.
Yeah, I can't. That was weird.
Something big just happened, because this only takes off when we're all cooked. There's a lot going on right now, but if you are worried about World War III, watch this video.
I don't like the doomsday stuff. Doomsday stuff has been throughout in cultures throughout history, bro. They've always been talking about doomsday right around the corner. People have been using that to get audiences and performances and make money, dude.
Right now and share it with someone. Because trust me,
Cold
you
War.
and everybody needs to see this. So I've spoken a few times about this, the Doomsday plane, which yes, took off yesterday. Everybody is freaking out online. The headlines all say, oh, the Doomsday plane has taken off, guys, we are cooked. I'm sure you all know what the Doomsday plane is. Obviously, it's not good. You can control everything from the skies. It can be refueled in the skies. But what some of you don't know is this actually does fly, like, normally once a year on routine tests. And yeah, they might be using it for other reasons, but oh well. Now, the main thing, obviously, is the situation in the Middle East is escalating, and it is getting scarier, I won't deny. We now have Trump, who has approved Iran attack plans, but hasn't made his decision on if they're going to get involved or not, so I'll keep you posted. But of course, the headlines everywhere, the media outlets, everyone's saying World War III is coming, this is going to cause World War III. But it is not. I don't think World War III is ever going to happen, and do you want to know why? These people right here. The richest people on Earth, and the people above that, you know, everybody who is like the top of the top.
Yeah, if we had World War III and large cities got nuked, that's just a massive income hit for the pyramid. the pyramid scheme that we live in, they do not want that. They do not want a nuke, and they already have ways of population control with the sheep. They don't need to do a nuke.
No, these people will do anything to keep their money. They want to be the upper class, of course. If World War III broke out and people were firing nukes everywhere, it would be mutually assured destruction, which just means the whole Earth essentially is blown to smithereens. So what the hell would be the point in that? Because these people would be gone, and if they weren't gone, they wouldn't be upper class anymore because no one would be alive. Even if they had some ultra bunker which they survived in, wiped down 95% of the Earth, came out, their money doesn't mean anything. Not at all, because there won't be anything on Earth. There's always going to be wars and conflicts, but the fact now that everybody has nuclear weapons is scary and a threat, but it's highly unlikely anything major is going to happen worldwide with it. And as terrible as these conflicts in the Middle East and worldwide are, I don't think it will go completely global at this stage. But it's still scary times. The US and other countries could get involved in this war. It is escalating, but don't worry about full-blown World War III with nukes flying everywhere. And as always, I will keep you updated.
We might need to start digging a bunker, bro. We'll have to save that for next time.
Hold up, Tim.
Alright, that's all I really have for the show. I'm gonna log off now. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, keep it real. Peace.